My girlfriend, 21F, and my brother, 20M, are soulmates. My girlfriend, 21F, and I, 21M, have been dating for about 7 months now. We both used to work at the same restaurant, and I asked her out. I've always felt like we were very different people, but that's what I liked about our relationship. I feel like I'm always learning something by being around her and try my best to indulge in her interests. 3 months ago I introduced her to my family and they all seemed to like her, especially my brother, 20M. I didn't really think much of it, and was happy to see them get along since I'm very close to my brother. But I've realized over time that they just fit way better with each other. They both have the same interests in movies, books, music, sports, foods, you name it. Although my girlfriend was hesitant at first about it, I encouraged her to go for things alone with my brother if it wasn't something I was really into. And they both had a great time. And I know just having the same hobbies sounds trivial, but it's also their personalities. They're both very free-spirited and adventurous, and I can't help but notice that they look so much happier with each other than with me. Sometimes I feel really out of place around them, as if I'm not supposed to be there. But I swear this is not out of jealousy, I just genuinely think they're better for each other. I love both of them, and if this is what makes them happy, then I'd rather they date each other and let me move out of their way. I'm not exactly sure how to execute this or talk about this with either of them though. How do I go about setting them up? Your brother shaped you as well. You apparently connect well with people like him, and like your GF. So it's no wonder she's very much into you and possibly would be less into your brother than you think. You gotta work on your self-esteem. What you'll learn eventually is that someone being attracted to you is not up to you, and no one who is attracted to you is going to want to hear you try to explain why they're wrong. If you trust a partner, part of that involves trusting their judgment about being with you. Oh, and stop sending them on dates, that's weird. She might not want to date your brother? If you're not into her, break up. If she likes your brother she'll pursue in her own time, but if my boyfriend came to me suggesting this I'd run a mile. Whoa, slow down, your girlfriend probably has zero interest in your brother. People don't necessarily like being with someone like them. My husband is my polar opposite, thank God, and I would be absolutely miserable dating someone like me. I'm too annoying. Setting them up without talking to them? Are you trying to get your girlfriend to cheat? Bro, just talk with the girlfriend. Share your thoughts. If she goes for him, better now than later. And if not, good for you. But not saying anything would just worsen everything. This is ridiculous. You're making so many assumptions without even having a single conversation with your girlfriend. I'm F21, destroyed because my BF's M21, mom told him to tell me to leave their home. I went to visit my boyfriend on Saturday so he could spend my birthday together on Tuesday, and he lives about 7 hours away and I traveled all the way. Then on that Saturday afternoon I found out my boyfriend had lied about something, and this really tore me apart and I didn't know what to do, and we didn't speak the entire time, although I was still being really friendly and engaging with his parents. So I avoided having dinner with them on Saturday night and Sunday night, although later that Sunday my boyfriend and I talked about why I was so mad at him and we fixed our issues and we made up. Then all of a sudden he starts crying and I was so confused why he is crying. And I hold him tight and ask him what the problem is. It took him quite a while to finally calm down and tell me that his mother is really pissed at me and wants me to leave and he doesn't know how to deal with the situation. But I told him it's okay, I will leave, and that made him cry even more. I can't go back home because they will ask so many questions and lecture me about a million things, but now I'm on the train and have no idea where I am going and I've been crying the entire time, and I will spend my birthday alone without anyone or anywhere to be, and this is really tearing me apart. I will never be going to his house ever again because of this. Now that I'm thinking so heavily in the train, I just wonder if they were just trying to get rid of me to avoid celebrating my birthday, or his mom just has no empathy, or she just doesn't like me. Edit. For context, I was not ignoring my boyfriend's parents, only my boyfriend, but I would respond to him if he says something in front of his parents. I spent most of the afternoons helping his mom prepare lunch and do some work on the garden, trying to avoid being with my boyfriend but still trying to make things less awkward, but turns out I didn't do a good job. Also, my boyfriend parents are the type of family that prioritize lunch more than dinner, because all the times I visited the routine was eat lunch all together, eat dinner with my boyfriend and sit together in the living room and have a drink, but weekend I skipped the dinner and having a drink with him and his mom. I'm not justifying anything, I really understand this was immature of me and I learned from it. Also, I wasn't expecting them to throw me a party, of course not. We were just going to hang out with my boyfriend and go somewhere for dinner or something like that. You were a guest and did not eat dinner with them both nights you were there. You were not talking to your own host, for a good reason or not. Why would you not have just gone home Sunday morning? I don't think going to someone's house and pouting for 2 days, no matter what the circumstances, is going to endear you to them being welcoming. That's their child you're not talking to and their efforts of 2 dinners ignored. You probably should have worked things out Saturday night. This was his family home, not his. Did you really expect his mom to celebrate you after ignoring their dinner 2 nights in a row? Lesson learned. If you don't want to be around someone, leave no matter the distance or work it out. I mean, you came to their house and then behaved really immaturely. You and your boyfriend got in a fight. If you really couldn't handle being around him at that point, the polite and adult thing to do would have been to quietly leave without making a scene. Not stay at their house, but give your boyfriend the silent treatment for 2 days and not come down to dinner both nights. That's weird as hell and awkward for everyone else living there. I'd want you to leave too. This has nothing to do with your birthday. You feeling awkward about going home because questions and lectures is a you problem, not anyone else's. Did his parents know you're coming, staying that long? What's the fight you had? I think that must be affecting their decision to ask you to leave. Did she really tell you to leave, or it's your boyfriend that wanted that? This post is so vague. Boyfriend, you probably made the whole weekend uncomfortable for everyone, and I don't blame them for wanting you to leave. You can't be a guest in someone's house and avoid them. That's so rude. She wanted you to leave because you and your boyfriend's toxic relationship was impacting her ability to be comfortable in her own home. You're questioning her empathy, but I'm questioning your own. It feels like you felt entitled to their home because your boyfriend lives there and completely forgot it is their home, not his home. It's extremely logical that you would be asked to leave a home after ignoring the host for a couple days. I get you guys are young, but you and your boyfriend are acting extremely immature. It's like you're so used to having a bad relationship you don't even notice how it impacts other people. It's not about her having empathy, because it's not about you, it's about the fact that it's her house. With all respect, she's not interested in your 21-year-old problems and emotions impacting the routines and comforts she wants from her home. If you can't play nice while you're her guest, she's well within her rights to revoke your guest status. I'm afraid I, F30, made a big mistake breaking up with 33M. Tell me I'm thinking straight? I'm a widow, he's my first relationship post-loss. I've been extremely honest with him from the very beginning, what I need, my circumstances, and checking in with him as well for what he needed, wanted. I have 2 young kids. He didn't meet them the first 6 months. He also had a brother who married a single mom and adopted her child, so he was always super positive about how he'd seen it work before. He liked the idea of being a stepdad, skipping the diaper stage, his house is too quiet, etc., etc. Well, he told me last night, after knowing the kids a year, that he didn't love them and didn't see himself getting there ever, but it's okay because he googled it and it said you don't have to love your stepkids, just treat them well. I don't expect him to love my kids like his own or anything like that. But my kids are so young, I couldn't bear the thought that he wouldn't grow to at least have some affection for them, and told him I didn't think we could move forward. When I told family and friends, they all agreed and said I couldn't be with someone who said that. But then I googled and looked here on Reddit at the step-parent page. And yeah, basically everything says it's normal not to love your stepkids, and as long as you're kind and respectful toward them, that's all that's required. Did I overreact? Again, I don't expect him to love my kids like his own biological children. But at least the possibility he could grow to love them as people and extensions of myself, the woman he loves. Am I delusional? No. You are their mother and they rely on you to protect them. Go with your gut. I'm glad he was honest though, but after a year and he feels no affection? Not a good sign. I had a stepdad who definitely didn't love me. Problem is he didn't treat me well either. In all honesty, I don't think I would have cared if he loved me, but him not treating me well was the problem. If he was kind, supportive and there for me when I needed a parent to be present, his love for me wouldn't have been a factor. Wow, I honestly would have broken up with him, too. I get he isn't obligated to love them, but damn, imagine how they would feel their whole life knowing someone only tolerate them. By the way, I am a step-parent. I divorced their dad years ago, but I am still very active in their life. I couldn't imagine not loving them. My stepmom loved me and I loved her. She's sadly passed away, sure. We had some severe troubles. I was nearly teenage girl that had lost her mom, and her kids were boys, so I was a bit different. I guess they don't have to love you, but treating them kindly and being fond of them should surely be part of it. I feel as though it's unfair for both of you to compare your relationship to other step-parents online who knows what their situations could really be like with their step-kids. What's right is following your gut feeling that what he said isn't something you could live with. It's uncomfortable setting a boundary when it can mean loss of a relationship, but you've got to stand for yourself and kids first. I don't believe I'd be comfortable continuing the relationship either. There is someone out there who will love the shit out of your kids someday. They're out there. Kids deserve love. My 31F husband, 29M, keeps going on international vacations without me. TLDR. My husband keeps going on international vacations without me and I'm struggling with how to talk to him about it. We've been married a little over a year, and in the last 6 months has gone on 2 international trips totaling 3 weeks. He gets unlimited PTO and I do not, so I understand that he's going to take more vacation than I can, but it still stings. He went to South America with friends on a top 10 trip of mine, but I couldn't get the time off the specific time frame everyone else wanted to go. He didn't even ask his friends if they could shift it a couple of weeks so I could join. I asked him if he would sit it out so we could go another time, and he promised that we could go together next year. That hasn't been planned yet at all, and every time we talk about it he tries to convince me to go on a different trip because he's already been to that original destination. Now he's in Mexico on a surfing trip for the next week. He had originally asked me if I wanted to go too, which I really wanted to join on, but then said it would be weird if I came because his friends would have to find a new place and that he didn't want me getting upset that he was surfing the whole time. I understand that if I went on this trip, during the day I would be by myself since I don't surf. I'm genuinely fine with that. It would have been perfect timing, too, because my boss is out this whole month and hasn't really assigned me any tasks at all. I have a tough work schedule to work around and this never happens. I don't know how to frame this conversation because I don't want to come off as controlling. I honestly really don't care that he's going to travel more than I do, but it stings when I really want to join and get told that I can't. Any tips for having this conversation with him? M52 here. My girlfriend F22 travels a lot both because she likes and she can. I don't travel with her. Now that I stated the similarities of our cases, let the differences rebay. 1. I don't like to travel. 2. She would like me to join whenever I want, and I am planning to go sometimes because I think is important to the relationship. I think that guy does not want you to go with him, period. And canceling your couple plans to go in a surf trip and not allow you to go is the end of the trip, your trip as a couple. Sorry, he does not deserve you. While it sounds like the perfect time to plan your own trip to South America, no? Why do you seem so afraid to talk to your husband about this? I'm concerned for you. This whole post does not point towards him being a loving and kind partner. He sounds very selfish, ouch. Was he like this when you were dating? He's single when you're not around and can get away with sampling around the world. Marrying someone who likes to vacation without you and doesn't want you going or misses you for that lengthy amount of time to have fun was already a red flag.